one of the most, to me, amazing accomplishments of this year's club has been the strategic action plan. If you're like me, you might have gotten a little bit lost in the details, but Kevin Wardell has not been lost in the details. He better not be. And he was going to give us just a little update on what we can expect under the new strategic planning system. Kevin.
Yes, it's a lot of work on strategery the last little while. I think we all know that the reason for spending the time on the strategic plan was really to, in spirit of service above self, is to expand the impact of the projects and expand the impact for the betterment of society that we have as a club. And as part of that review, it led to a significant reorganization of many of the club, and that was with the intent of increasing the collaboration, breaking down the silos in our club that we have. Yes, we have them too, just as we all do in our professional lives, and getting a lot more communication, cross-communication in the organization. Well, that structure and that reorganization has now been finalized, and tomorrow at the board meeting, it will go forward, and we expect it to be approved. There will be bylaws changes that go with that, and the same, there'll be some bylaws changes in the Rotary Fund as well, to be in concert with that. We have named all the committee chairs and the vice chairs of committees. They got together at a strategery retreat not so long ago, a few weeks ago, and we began to work on action plans that begin to put us into motion for the next year and do a better job scheduling, coordinating the projects and the activities that we have. Those committee chairs have, as I say, have been named. The rosters are due, Debbie, in the next week or two, we hope. Printer gets their act together. The committee chairs will be listed. They're also listed now, if you want an advance look, on the DACDB database. You can go in there, make sure you put in the drop-down list to go to the year 2013-14, and you'll see who the chairs and vice chairs are. We really want to thank all of you who submitted your committee preference lists on the SurveyMonkey that we did a few weeks ago. Many of you did not. We will be making some initial committee assignments. We'll be getting that news out too in the next week or two. If you don't find your name on a committee you want to be on, whether you filled out on the preference list or not, please go ahead and contact the chairman of that committee. They have the authority to add members. And if you have a significant interest, I'm sure they'd be interested in having you join that committee. It's going to be an exciting year. We think we'll be better prepared to move the club forward, not only this coming year, but the following year. And thank you all once again.
Thank you, Kevin. You know, at the risk of sounding a little nostalgic, one of the most wonderful parts of doing this job is to be able to recognize in a formal way the achievements of our accomplished and diverse membership. As you probably know, the awards committee has been working overtime this year, has done a wonderful job in coming up with some new ways to recognize our members for outstanding achievement. And one of the awards that we're about to announce, please block the entrance so nobody leaves early, especially the person who's going to get this award, is going to track what the International Rotary President theme for the year will be. This year, the RI President's theme was Peace Through Service. So the recipient of this award will be given the first ever, and probably the last, Peace Through Service Award. So I'm really honored to be able to give this one out, because when you hear who this member is and what he has done, and yes, he's a he, I think you'll agree. This person has been an absolutely outstanding leader in his profession, in his faith community, and he has done as much as anybody in this community to build peace and understanding between peoples from around the world. This individual has led his professional organization to serve food to indigent citizens at the Wayside Christian Mission. He has worked with Jewish and Christian partners to build more than one home for Habitat for Humanity, provided supplies for the Center for Women and Families. He has worked with the Volunteers of America to collect winter clothes, supported Dare to Care, the Hunger Walk, and now he probably knows who I'm talking about, but his professional organization, the Association of Physicians of Pakistani Descent, in Kentucky and Indiana, has sent $85,000 to Somalia to combat famine, has sent aid to Haiti after the earthquake, has worked with WaterStep, our own Mark Hogg's organization, to place 100 water purifications in Pakistan after the floods, and now, of course, he knows who he is. And he has spoken out for peace and justice at St. William's Catholic Church, the World Day Prayer for Peace in January 2011, Center for Interfaith Relations, Interpaths to Peace, Louisville Pakistani American Community, Multi-Faith Dialogue at the Louisville Islamic Center on River Road. He has served on Mayor Fisher's transition team. He has spoken out against the actions of religious extremists of all stripes and in support of mutual understanding, writing letters to the editor and serving on a nationally recognized basis to do that. For his consistent and very public espousal of embodiment of this year's Rotary International Presidential Theme, Peace Through Service, it is my very great honor to present this award to Rotarian Dr. Mohammed Babar. Babar. No one deserves it more. Okay, and now I would like to recognize the outstanding achievement of this year's officers and directors and ask them to stand when I read their names and remain standing. First of all, our new president, Randy Coe, who serves as first vice president this year, at least for a few more minutes. Randy, would you stand? George Breakmeyer, second vice president. Cindy Collier, secretary. Phil Tamplin, treasurer. Greg Braun, sergeant at arms. Directors, Roland Blahnik. I think Roland's out of town. Alice Bridges. Rick Harned, he's still in Europe. John Hubbock. Bob Niblock. Mark Rohrer. David Roth. Maynard Stetton, Stet is still in Europe, and Susan Zepeda. Please join me in giving a big round of applause for these wonderful board members. Job well done. And now you'll have to indulge me one final time. I'd like to give you a very quick, are you going to do the clicking? Yeah, you do the clicking, yeah. An annual report on your achievement this year. You know, this has been a momentous year. It's been the centennial year. We all know that. Your accomplishments are really spectacular. Our officers and directors have performed their fiduciary obligations exceptionally well. Our club is well positioned for the next century. Let me share with you some of our achievements. First of all, finances. You'll be getting a more detailed report from Phil Tamplin in the next few days about our current position, but suffice it to say we ended up the year in good financial shape, within budget, more or less. We completed the transition from outside accounting to internal accounting using QuickBooks. We've brought most of the bookkeeping in-house, saving lots of money on outside contractors. The Rotary Fund of Louisville is healthy. We're growing with the stock market. We should take some credit for the stock market. Why not? The investment committee has done a wonderful job in positioning our investments prudently and professionally. We're set for the future. Under membership, we started the year with 475 members. We end the year with 478 members. A 3-member net gain may not seem like a lot, but let me tell you about the conversation that Peg and I had in Lisbon last week with the incoming district governor over the Houston Club, which 4 years ago had 1,400 members. This year it has 200 members. So a net gain of 3 members, believe me, is a real accomplishment, and thank you to the committees involved. We've had membership attraction parties. We've raised the club's profile between potential members from very diverse backgrounds. We've conducted polling of our members, the Survey Monkey. We've tried to keep it short and sweet and to the point. We don't want to wear anybody out with that, but we're trying to get members' opinions about various aspects of our club and our meeting and, yes, our menu. And we have brought in a very, very fine group of new Rotarians, and we have fine-tuned this wonderful new member orientation process that started 2 years ago. Internally, of course, our communications have improved. We're working on updating and really redeveloping our internal Rotary website. And by the way, RI is also working on updating its less than spectacular website as well. So we hope that those two will interface to really give some good clarity to this internal communication process that's so important in our club. Strategic planning, Kevin told us about that. Bylaws have been drafted, and tomorrow at the final board meeting they will be submitted for your board's approval. Our program committee has continued to demonstrate that why we have the best speakers in the region. Our meetings are on YouTube. They're being watched, we think, by Rotarians and non-Rotarians, especially those who are unable to make the meetings, and that was really the purpose of trying to put that on YouTube. Our music committee, as they demonstrate again today, are simply the best, and I plan to nominate our four-way test band to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But just don't wear those ZZ Top things. That there are some intellectual property issues with that, I think. Fundraising, you know, we started that process. Rotary's never really had a fundraiser. We've had fundraisers for other entities, all of them great fundraisers, all of them great entities, but we've never really done it for ourselves. This year was the first, and I'm pleased to say that we netted, that's net, $36,371.51 from that fundraiser. A spectacular effort. Thank you to all. Thank you, donors, partners, attendees, and Rotarians. That was a great effort. Rotary Promise, Signature Centennial Project. We have completed the funding of our first Promise school, Western High School. We are more than halfway towards funding our second school, and thanks to Donna and her wonderful team and to JCTC, we have been identified as Iroquois being our next Rotary school. And I can tell you that Iroquois is fired up and ready to go. They are just delighted that they're the next one. We're going to start working with them next year. Hopefully the funding will come, but we're going to start with the freshman class, who, by the way, are going to the Rotary Leadership Institute in the fall. We've started Interact Club at Western. We're going to start one at Iroquois. We are starting a Rotaract Club at JCTC. We have added vocational and other programming to our Rotary Promise schools, forming partnerships with non-Rotarian entities, professional organizations, not-for-profit organizations, all of the above, and all of that furthers our Rotary area of interest in vocational service. That, to me, is a very good application for our vocational service efforts. Compassion. We're big on compassion. We have been for 100 years. We're just saying so now. We were the first Rotary Club that I know of to sign the Charter for Compassion, which of course is our Mayor Greg Fisher's, one of his signature projects. We hope that we will be partnering with other Rotary clubs in this compassion effort, and we look forward to doing that with Mayor Fisher and the city administration. Service. You know, we've been doing service for 100 years. We did it again this year. Every single one of those committees that were involved in service have performed wonderfully, have finished projects, have started projects, and we've got lots more on the drawing board for next year. It's going to be an exciting year. We hope that all Rotarians will have an avenue through service to actually do some hands-on work. We know that that's why people are in this club. Centennial. We celebrated, no question. We began with a fabulous birthday party at the Ice House. We ended with a fabulous fundraiser at the Parklands, followed by a wonderful old-fashioned Rotary picnic. If you didn't get a chance to go, you'll want to go next year because it was really fun. Bike ride, games, a wonderful time was had by all. And it really was, it brought us back to what was happening 100 years ago in Rotary when they started a picnic in their very first year of operation. We're completing a historical plaque on 4th Street. You'll hear more about that in the next month or two. It'll have the Henry Watterson Hotel on one side and it'll have Rotary in Louisville on the other. So we're excited about that. And this fall, when the next section of the Parklands is open, the Grand Alley section, you will see our Rotary Centennial plaque featured prominently among donors, thanks to the generosity of a Rotarian and a non-Rotarian who shall otherwise remain nameless. Public affairs. I think it's probably fair to say that we've raised our profile in this community in a big way. We're redesigning our website, and we hope that will help propel that momentum well into the next century. We've on history, we have digitized our Rotary history. We have preserved it for future generations of Rotarians and made it easier for us to use that history and have some fun with it and celebrate it. Rotary International. We inducted more new Paul Harris Fellows this year than any club probably in the world. And we raised over $78,000 for the Rotary Foundation, the largest amount our club has ever contributed in our new status as a star club. And I always thought we were a star club, but now we know. Fellowship. We've had well-attended meetings. We've had some great parties. We've had great Rotary nights out. Wonderful job there. The sports committees had some wonderful events, broad range of fun. And speaking of which, fun, we've had plenty of it. So let me say, before I invite Randy to come up and have the changing of the guard, let me again thank Debbie Skidmore and Kathy for their wonderful work. We couldn't have done this without them, and that's just a fact. And they have just been wonderful. And so please join me with a big round of applause. Wonderful. And finally, serving as the president of this club has been one of the most enjoyable and inspiring experiences of my life. I'd like to thank each one of you for your service to Rotary and for your help this year especially. None of these achievements could be obtained without the active involvement and volunteer efforts of Rotarians. We're a membership organization that's different from any other kind of organization. We have to rely on people's voluntary efforts, and boy, you've really stepped up to the plate. And for that, I am grateful. Thank you for this opportunity to serve, and God bless. And now, thank you, friends. And now I'd like to introduce Woody Northup, CEO, Radio Sound, sustaining member, done everything in Rotary you can do other than be Rotary International President, and that may happen in the near future, who knows, who will make a presentation.
All right, I'm gonna just move you aside for just a second.
Please.
Put that there. Well, Stuart, first of all, from personal experience, even though you don't think so right now, you are going to miss this microphone. You're going to miss it. I mean, this is a great opportunity, 52 straight weeks, and it's gone. It's over. It's over. I am honored to be able to usher you into, however, the ranks of the most coveted position in Rotary, and that is past president. Okay? And I was honored when you were announced as president on my patio at the Christmas party in Henry's year. So I feel like I've been at the beginning and at the end. And let me tell you something. You truly are one of the best presidents we have ever had.
Thank you, sir.
What really impresses me, I think I have to sort of boil this down, but your grace and your poise are outstanding. It's obvious at the microphone that you are very comfortable, and you're witty. You're not scared of events coming at you. You're able to handle them easily. What the folks out there probably don't know is the grace and poise you also have when you're sitting down here and your speakers or your announcers are going on too long, and you're resisting every impulse you have to look at your watch because you're on a timeline. You really are, and I understand that. The other thing I want to say is you've exhibited real grace and poise in handling problems that have come up during the year, and you guys probably don't hear too much about those problems, and it's because of the way your president has handled those things that have come up periodically, and they come up in every president's year. But you have done an outstanding job. To say nothing of the grace and poise you have shown when Rotarians, both past presidents and non-past presidents, come up and tell you how to do your job. So it's really, you've been really great. More than that, however, let me just say that in my opinion, you epitomize what Rotary really is, and that is service above self. You are devoted to service. You are devoted to the things that Rotary is all about, not just in our own neighborhood, not just in our own community, but around the world. You are devoted to those things. You have a passion for them, and I appreciate that. And this club should appreciate a president that has those qualities.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, we've got a few gifts for you. First off is this badge, and only 99 of these badges have ever been given out. And it is the past president badge for the Rotary Club of Louisville. It's going to replace the one you have on, and wear it with pride because you deserve it. Secondly, I have something else. Actually, this has been given out thousands and thousands of times, but again, only 99 times in this club, and that is the pin of the past president. So again, wear that with pride.
Thank you, Woody.
You're welcome. I also have a plaque, and I mean, what would Rotary be without plaques? Really. But this is something that you can really hang in your office with pride. I don't think Peg's going to let you hang it at home. I mean, Ann never would, take that down to the office. Presented to Stuart E. Alexander III, President, 2012-2013, Rotary Club of Louisville.
Thank you, Woody.
You're welcome. One more thing.
Okay.
And finally, we have a personal gift for you. Now, I will say that we didn't think of this all by ourselves. Okay, we had a little collusion involved here, but I think you will appreciate it all the more since you do have collusion in this, and this is something you might be able to hang at home.
Oh,
Do you recognize that?
Absolutely. Let's
Okay.
move forward.
So where we had our fundraiser, 4 weeks
Beautiful.
ago,
Beautiful.
and
Yeah.
something that ought to be near and dear to your heart because it's the first one ever, even though it's our 100th year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Woody.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Woody. Really appreciate it.
I'm gonna put that right there.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Woody and friends. Well, now it's time to change the guard. And boy, what a change in guard we have. I am so excited about next year and so excited about introducing our new president, Randy Coe, president of Cosera Charities, 1912 Society member, Paul Harris Fellow, and our new 2013-2014 club president. Randy, please come forward. One more thing. Okay. You gotta do that.
Please take your seats.
And I'm about to pin our new president with the coveted ruby pin. It's only been lost once or twice in the last couple years. So, if I may, let me go ahead and pin that to this nice new suit of yours. And with my blessing,
Don't go anywhere.
congratulations.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm so pleased that you're here. I'm going to come around and give this.
It is quite an honor and thank you. And I know the hour is getting late. We've covered a lot of ground, but we needed to because a lot of ground has been covered this year with Stuart's leadership. I said in the beginning that Stuart's one of the smartest guys I've ever met, and it's still true today. He's kind of what I see as a Renaissance guy in a lot of ways. He's very broad and deep in his understanding of the world and life and the joys that are in life. And I think he and Peg have brought a lot of style and class to our club. And thank you for letting him come play with us. And thank you, Stuart. And Stuart, I know you were given a gift, but I have one that's far more meaningful. You've demonstrated through the course of the year that these marvelous candies, which are the caramel candies with the marshmallow on the inside, that you have a particular fondness for these. Now, Peg, I'm sure he brings these home and shares them with you. But just in case, here is your personal bag from us to you. Well, there's a lot going on, and we've got a great group of people who are going to serve you for the next year. Now, my job now is to introduce them, but I'm going to jump out of the sequence a little bit and first let Kevin come back to the microphone, if you don't mind. He has some special recognitions and announcements that are something we think is very valuable.
And one of the great pleasures of my life, in addition to Rotary, has been serving on the board of the Leadership Louisville Center for the past several years. So we just want to do a quick shout out today for 3 members of the Rotary who have just been named to this year's Leadership Louisville class. They are Mohammed Babar, who of course you know all about his community service already, Teresa Rady, and Nancy Jo Trafton. Congratulations to all.
Thank you. Now let me get back on the agenda, and then I've got some special announcements at the end which affect, positively or negatively, each one of you. So you don't want to leave just yet. The officers and board members for this ensuing term will be First Vice President, President-elect, a man you've now come to know well, Kevin Wardell. Kevin, would you stand? Second Vice President, who is the Treasurer, and apparently we still got the money because he was elected to another office, Phil Tamplin. You know, Secretary is a new member, but I think we can figure out he's got some experience in Rotary. He'll come along, Craig Sherman. He's pretty new, but he'll be all right. New Treasurer, the retired CFO of Presbyterian Church USA, Joey Bailey. You probably didn't recognize him because he's wearing a suit. One time this year, he promised. All right. Sergeant at Arms Joyce Seymour, our good buddy Joyce. That's right. You may not have seen that, but she's flexing back here, saying she's putting on the muscle. She needs it. The directors, our best immediate past president of our club, Stuart Alexander. And I might add, Stuart has agreed to be the committee chair for our international service, which is something that interests him a great deal and which he will really lead well, and I'm real pleased with that. Alice Bridges, and Alice. Ken Grossman. Kenny's our past program chair. Someone who I don't believe here's today, but as we all know is remarkable, is Rick Harned. I think Rick's out of town, way out of town. He's in Europe. John Hubbock is a director, second year. John. Some of the bright new lights of Rotary and bright new lights on the board, Julie Smith. And another one of the things that makes your future board, I think, have a likelihood of being very successful is we have several large club vice presidents of clubs in our club now. And one of them will be on our board again this year, Susan Zapata. I know she's here. Okay, a couple of announcements. Well, we've done the surveys with you, and you've told us you wanted some things to be enhancing your membership experience. In the last 2 years, the strategic plan has tried to address some of that proactively. And sure enough, like Kevin has said and Stuart has said, we're going to roll that out now starting July 1. There'll be some bumps in the road. You know, there'll be some, well, what's this all about? There's some change. I don't really understand it. We're going to try to communicate that effectively in a timely way. But some of it, though, is going to be responsive to what we've said you want to do. For instance, Charlie witnessed that today when spontaneously the crowd said, "We want the birthday song." Well, it may not have been widely spread spontaneous, but I heard it from over there in the music group. And you know, there's one thing when you have the microphone or got the piano, you are in charge. So we may be doing some of that. Last week, I had a chance to recognize one of our senior members who most of you don't know much about, and a lot of you may not really see because he's not able to be here a lot. And what he did was he helped us read the four-way test. We may not do that all the time, but I'll tell you selfishly what it allows me to do. It allows me to feel good about recognizing a senior member of this club. Last week it was Charlie Hurd, who joined our club in February of 1967. Was a leader of the Chamber of Commerce, was an officer in World War II in the United States Army. Well, those are things I know about Charlie that a lot of you may not know. But at least it gives him some recognition, a little bit of microphone time, if you will. And as the year goes on, there may be others, maybe a past president, maybe somebody visiting, that we want to just say, would you mind helping us recite the four-way test? And it's a way to get them some recognition when maybe there's not a shout out or something that would be forthcoming. So that's what that's all about. Next week is July 3rd, and historically it's been a tough attendance day for us. That July 4th week, well, there's a couple of baits I've got for you. It's a dress down day. Now, for Joey and my other friends, they're going to dress down anyway. But for the rest of you, if you'll come on Wednesday to the Shrine Center on South 2nd, now owned by Spalding, you don't have to have the suit, don't have to have the coat and tie unless you want to. And I'll do this. if you'll come patriotically dressed, something, Uncle Sam hat, Uncle Sam shirt, Uncle Sam tie, any of that, we'll put you on a special drawing. Now, you remember Joey had us at the baseball game yesterday. Well, none of us caught any balls, foul balls. But I'm going to bring, and Joey's going to give away, you've heard that famous home run hitter Barry Bonds? Everybody know him? The guy hit all those home runs? I'm bringing next week to Wednesday's meeting a Barry Bonds baseball, and someone's going to win it. So you can, so be there dressed patriotically, and you're in on it. You heard last week I announced that there was a lot of excitement about that. Oh, wow. Well, I better keep going while we're on a roll. Last week talked about attendance. You know, it's best if you're here. It makes us happy because we think you're interested. You get more out of it if you're here. Those who have 60% attendance in the first quarter, second, third, and fourth, each quarter your name goes in a drawing for a $100 gift certificate to the revolving restaurants on this tower, the Review restaurants. That's not bad. So it's first quarter, but the second, third, and fourth. But you have to have 60% attendance at this meeting. Now you may have to leave, but you got to be physically here, not on the internet, not a committee meeting. Got to be here. We're going to have some fun. Some things may be a little different. Some things may be a little strange. But you know what? It's all about getting to know one another better. And it's very much a pleasure for me to get a chance to serve you. I'm following in the footsteps of a tremendous Rotarian and a really nice guy. And I hope to be worthy so that when Kevin Wardell comes to the microphone, he can say, Randy, you were the best president we had that year. We're adjourned.